Welcome to Research 101 series, where I talk about the basics for research. This short presentation is on how to write the introduction chapter of a dissertation. The introduction chapter is the first chapter of the dissertation, so it provides the readers with an impression about the whole thesis. If the introduction chapter is well written, it provides an impression that the dissertation is well put together. This is where the researcher introduces the topic, provides the context of the study, articulates the focus and scope of the research, its relevance, importance, rationale, and a list of objectives and the research questions. The introduction chapter also shows how the study advances the knowledge in the field in general and maybe advances the knowledge in a specific context. The introduction chapter ends by providing the overview of the thesis. The introduction is a purpose. So different fields have different expectations of introduction chapter. This is just a general highlight on what's generally expected in the introduction chapter of a thesis or a dissertation. In the introduction chapter, it's expected that the author introduces the topic, provides the context of the study, provides the statement of the problem that was investigated. What was the problem? Then we also expect to find the highlights of the focus of the problem that is being investigated. The explanation about the importance of the research is also provided in the introduction section. Also, issues of the rationale and significance of the study. The significance of the study, it can be significance in the field or specifically in the context of the research. In the introduction chapter, that's where the objectives are listed as well as the research questions. The introduction chapter also provides a brief summary and description of the conceptual framework. Here are some suggestions on how to structure the introduction chapter of your thesis. You start by introducing the chapter. This is where we have got 2 or so paragraphs where you introduce the topic and the context of the study and also provide the focus and scope of the study. After reading the first 2 paragraphs, the reader must have some understanding about the focus of the study. Then it's followed by the statement of the problem where there's a detailed explanation about the problem being investigated. You ask yourself, what is the problem? What is it that I want to investigate? Or what is it that I investigated? And what was the problem? Then it's followed by explaining the importance of the problem where you highlight the significance and rationale of the study. Why was the study worth exploring? What is the relevance of that study in the field and also in your own context? Who cares about your study? And so what? Why did you do the study? Who cares? And what is going to be the use of those findings? Then it's followed by a list of the objectives and research questions. This is where you provide the central aim of the study and the main objectives of the study and the main research questions. When you're looking at the main objectives and the main research questions, it's not about just a list, but a full description to provide the context and full information about the questions being asked. Then you can provide a list of very specific research questions that will be answered within the study. Then you provide a conceptual framework. A conceptual framework introduces the theoretical and conceptual framework that helps to inform the study. Conceptual framework shows the relationship between concepts in literature and how that relates to the specific study. The introduction chapter then ends with a thesis overview. A thesis overview is a summary of what is expected in each chapter. For example, you can talk about what's in chapter 2. So for each chapter, you can have 2 or 3 sentences explaining what readers should expect in each of the following chapters. I will provide details about what is contained in each chapter in a separate video. I want to wish you the best with your research, and I hope you found this presentation to be useful. Please share and subscribe to my channel.